I am actually scared to mention the time, the date, everything today. Why? Well, stay tuned to the very end and you will find out. Okie dokie, a warm welcome to the channel, and this show was inspired by a gentleman, a viewer, a subscriber, who said, were there any droughts before this year along the Yangtze River, before the Three Gorges Dam, etc., etc.? And the answer is yes, there were. I spent about half an hour Googling and searching on different kind of websites and all these boffin kind of places where people with PhDs would go. And recorded history way back to 1086 says there were quite a few. You could imagine that's 1,000 years before near enough the Three Gorges Dam was even thought about, or 900 years, and there have been. The last droughts that I could find was way back in 2011, and The Guardian reported it. And you can just go to Google, type in Guardian drought Yangtze 2011, and you can see near enough the same articles that have been published this year in 2022, all the way back in 2011. Yes, it does happen, and I would have presumed it has happened in the past, back in recordable history. If you ask an English person when was the drought, let's say my age or my parents' age, for example, they would always say, oh yeah, it was the summer of 1976 when you weren't allowed to use a hose pipe. Now, related to the title of this, 90 of 122 areas in central China's Hunan hit by extreme drought is likely to develop in the coming week. Now, you may think this is Western media actually doing some downsides, and I thought of it as well. I said, oh my God, what is happening here? But this is from the Global Times on September the 27th, 2022 at 2:27 a.m., which is a very strange time to work. But hey, we all saw the pictures that you've seen at the beginning of this show, and also what you've seen on the internet over the summer, and some people like CNN came over, DW, France 24, all showed pictures. But these are the articles that I picked up from the Global Times saying about the drought, which is very weird because usually Chinese state media don't go into the negative propaganda. They would have things like Xi Jinping's thoughts. Reads like this. According to the Hunan Provincial Climate Center, the average rainfall in Hunan since July 8 has been 66.3 millimeters, the lowest in a period since 1961, and the average temperature is the highest in the same period. In addition, the average temperatures in the province has been 29.4 centigrade, 2.5 centigrade higher than the same period last year, and the height since 1961. It goes on to say, as the droughts in the Yangtze Basin continue, central China's Hunan province has become the most affected areas. According to the official statistics, as of Sunday, remember this is dated on the 27th, I think it was, around that time. As of Sunday, all 122 cities and counties in the province have reached the medium drought level or higher, and 90 counties and urban areas have been hit by extreme drought. So that's what's happening, and that's what happened near enough last week in Hunan. There has been bits of rain. We have seen rain on the weather, which I will possibly show you today, but not for won't show you today, but possibly I will show you for tomorrow. So I hope to my viewer that has helped, that they are saying here the last drought was like in 1961, or that was the worst drought in central China. And at the moment we have 90 out of 122 cities in Hunan, which is central China, done that. So what did the actual Three Gorges Dam help with? Oh, time to wake up. What did the Three Gorges Dam do to actually help? Well, If we look through the satellite pictures throughout the drought period this year, which is like, say, the end of July, August, and beginning of September, you could see that the Yangtze, or the Three Gorges, is actually incredibly deep. We know that by the levels and engineers who actually put the Three Gorges man-made reservoir in by flooding this beautiful part of China. Regardless of that, ships were still able to move, but not much in the lower regions. So some of the lighter ships were able to get through. Did it help? Well, they did actually say that the Three Gorges Dam Corporation were going to release floodwaters, but we didn't hear anything after that. But then we continued to see pictures of lower reaches of the Yangtze. So I don't think they did, maybe because the levels were too low and they were unable to release that amount of floodwater opening the sluice gates. Or, if you want a conspiracy theory, maybe, well, possibly, maybe the sluice gates are knackered or kaput. This was going to be a short video, but I think it's going to be quite long now. So that's really all I got about the drought, the floods, the Three Gorges, central China for the moment. But what is it like living in China? You see a lot of Western media come out with it saying it's awful, it's bad, it's horrendous. But what I am and Western media is actually showing are just some highlights. Remember, China's a really big country of 1.4 billion people. With that, it's not everywhere, but in certain areas. But I'm going to talk about sort of like freedom restrictions, because they say in China they have democracy and they sort of have freedom. Controlled freedom is just an added word. Controlled freedom is not freedom, so to speak. Imagine you arrive at the airport. You go through that, you've got to go through a test still, which doesn't happen near enough in any other country nowadays. Then you have to spend 7 days in a quarantine hotel, followed by 3 days at your home with no one else there. And they can, if you look very closely, put a camera there to make sure you're behaving. But does anyone want to go to China? Here's a return ticket on Qatar and Cathay Pacific. This is from, what do we have here? From Shanghai to New York. The cheapest price I actually found on economy, was 3,139. Usually that price would be about 2,000 American bucks, maybe a bit more. Or Cathay Pacific and ANA would cost you 5,862. Please note these are economy prices. So let's take a break. Whew. So this is what daily life can be like for quite a few people in China. And the reason why? Well, just one person, dictator Winnie Xi Jinping, him. It's his zero tolerance policy in COVID. And I say time and time again, it isn't working. Come to this country where it is working. What is happening with Tokyo and Pickle? Moving away from that. As always, both of them are fine. Pickle is growing every day. She can climb up and down the stairs now. I hopefully can do a video of that. and she knows how to open the cat flap in the bedroom so she can go in and out, and she has near enough access to the whole house apart from this room because it doesn't have a cat flap for now. But anyhow, as always, I would like to thank everyone who has supported the channel. The link is in the description below, and big thanks to anyone who has donated any financial support for Pickle. All, and I mean truly from the bottom of my heart, everything is appreciated. This was actually a really bad day for recording. I'll show you why. Hello and welcome to... wearing a blinking... hold on. It is October the 22nd. No, it's not. It is the 4th of October 2020, and welcome 2022. What's the day? October the 4th, 2020. 2022. Thank you. 4th, 2022. October the 4th, 2022. October the 4th, 2022. It's Tuesday, October the 4th, 2022. Got it. It's October the 4th, 2020. 2022. It is October the 4th, 2022. It is a Tuesday. And that really brings us to a close on this day. I'm not going to say the day because I'll just take another 20 takes to do it. Have an epic day. Please do like, subscribe and share. My name is James. Bye-bye for now.